Thank you guys so much for joining us for the very first edition of CART Conversations for the 2026-27 fiscal year. Can you believe we are already in another new year, which means we have just wrapped up an incredible year for the CART Fund. For those who have not heard yet, we completed a record year of fundraising with a little over $4.5 million that we raised this past year. Thanks to each and every one of you and your assistance and your hard work and determination and effort. And so we are very excited that at our 2026 annual meeting, which will be next Friday, July the 31st, in Charlotte, North Carolina, we are excited to be welcoming also another record 10 researchers in 1 year, and they will be receiving grants totaling $4.55 million. So we'll be hearing presentations from our top two recipients. They are two grants that are named in memory, one in memory of our founder, Roger Ackerman, and one named in memory of Dr. John Trojanowski, who was a great friend of CART for many, many years. And those will be the top two grants that are given out, and then the other 8 will be parts of a panel discussion that will be part of our day. We have a full day planned for you all next week. It will start promptly at 9 a.m. on Friday morning. The agenda says it will wrap up by 4. I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret. We will be done by 3. So those of you who are concerned about getting in Charlotte traffic and headed home, you have the inside scoop tonight. So I am excited to share that with you. We have a lot that's going to be rolling out that week. And the Monday after that, which will be the first Monday of August, is our normal date for the monthly CART Conversations call. So there will be a call the Monday night after our annual meeting, and I hope that all of you will plan to be there, because much of what we're going to talk about tonight, it's going to be a tease for some of it, and then the launch will be on Friday the 31st. And so if you're not going to be with us in person, I hope you'll be able to Zoom in. And then the launch of our ad campaign, our public image and public relations campaign, will be first thing that morning, and then our researchers throughout the day. And then the finale and the wrap up of the rest of the information that you'll need will be on Monday night, August 3rd. So tonight I want to just give you a brief update, because I believe everyone on here is very familiar with CART. However, there are some things that I want to make sure that we reiterate over and over and over again. And so if you hear things that I say, or you hear things that then later Rod may say in a comment, or Allison may say as part of her training, and Michelle may add, or if you then hear that in the presentation that I'm going to share with you later 2, 3, 4 times, it's because we recognize that we do have to reiterate it, some of these things over and over, to make sure that we're getting our message across. One of the important things that we're going to work on this year is not only branding, but also donor engagement. And we are going to make sure that we are doing everything we can to say thank you to our donors and to get them involved in our process. So I'm excited to share that with you. Most of you know that CART was started in 1995. We are celebrating our 30th year this year, started by one Rotarian. We'll talk a little bit about that as we go into our PowerPoint in a moment. But I did want to share with you, we have new board members this year because it is a new fiscal year. They are all uploaded now to our website. So if you want to get more information and put faces with names, I encourage you to go there and take a look at the About Us page under Board of Directors. Some of them are on with us tonight. Some of them will be joining us for presentations throughout the year. We do have 3 representatives. Our board includes 3 representatives of district CART chairs, folks who are a chair in their district and they serve a 1-year term on the Board of Directors. We also have regional directors who are responsible for areas. We are growing so much that we keep adding new regions, and that's exciting for us as well. And so we have all of those on the website, and it even tells you what division they represent. So if you are in Maryland, for example, Ken, you will see that your district is part of Chesapeake Pets, is where you guys attend Pets, I believe. And so you would be part of the Chesapeake region. And so most of our regions are set up the same as Pets and Pals. So those are our voting members of our board. Was there a question? Okay. Then the other thing I just wanted to briefly mention is, many of you also are aware of the track part of CART. We we say all the time that 100% of our donations go directly to research, and they do. And we are able to do that because we have a separate nonprofit called TRAC, which is CART spelled backwards, Trusting Rotarians for an Alzheimer's Cure. And it accepts designated gifts, and it uses money earned off of interest in order to pay our very, very minimal operating expenses. So the first thing I wanted to share with you guys tonight is a best practices for our district and club CART chairs. We have created a document, and this document is already available. I think it's already uploaded to the website under the resources page, and I'm going to show you that. But it is called a District and Club Chair Handbook. And we're not going to go through the whole thing tonight. I just want to touch on a few pages, but I do have it so that I can share it with you for now. So give me 1 second to share. All right, so this document, as I mentioned, is going to be available for you to download from our website. We do have a page on our website called resources, and you can get a lot of stuff there. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But basically, this is going to show you some things that you're going to kind of be your guidebook, your handbook throughout the year, of things that we hope that you'll work on throughout the year. It's got an About Us page, a lot of the things that we just talked about, and a lot of this will be covered during the PowerPoint presentation that we provide for you to use when you make presentations. So I'm not going to go through all of that, but I wanted you to know it's there. But one of the few things I did want to review on this is that we want you to make sure you know who your partners are. And as a district chair, we want you to work with some of the district leaders, your district governor line, your public image team and public image chair, your district awards chair, the district governor and the finance team, the district conference chair, to think about ways now that you can be getting involved with the conference that's probably planned for late fall or early spring. And then we also want you to partner with your club leaders in your district. The best thing you can do is recruit a chair or an advocate in each club, maybe even area assistants that will help you with working in specific clubs. And then you create a committee list in DACTB so that you can communicate with those people on a regular basis. And if you don't know how to do that, reach out to us. We'll be happy to show you, myself or Allison. But we also have an older video on our YouTube channel that'll show you how. And it's going to be part of one of our future monthly calls as well. So we could go over that. Because we want you to be able to communicate with them on a regular basis. We want you to schedule presentations, to go out and speak as often as possible. If you're not able to travel because maybe your district is far and wide and you have a full-time job and all of the other things, then that's where those area advocates can come in handy. We want to make sure that you always have enough little blue buckets. As a reminder, we do provide those free of charge. I have about 10 cases here at my house right now. So if you need some at the annual meeting next week and you need me to bring them so that you can carry them home with you, please drop me an email. Let me know. I will have plenty. But if you'd like to take an entire case of 250, I'll be happy to load that in the back of my car and bring that for you. We're going to ask you to work giving monthly or even quarterly updates to the club newsletters, the club bulletins, your district newsletters, things like that, and recognize people. And then the most important thing is to encourage the clubs in your district to make their donations regularly and not wait till the end of the year. If not monthly, at least quarterly. And Allison will chat about that a little bit later as well, because we want to make sure that they get immediate credit. We want to make sure that we know how much money we have to give away. And we also want to make sure they get it in before the end of the fiscal year, and we're not scrambling at the end to figure out who our award winners are and who deserves recognition. You might even encourage your clubs to do honorariums for their guest speakers, or if someone passes away, to do memorials for loved ones. And one of the important things we're going to share with you is the importance of enrolling as a recurring donor, which is a member of the Roger Ackerman Circle. And we hope that each and every one of you will do that. If you haven't already, we'll share some more information on that as we go. And you as the district chair will be distributing those lapel pins to folks as often as possible, sharing the photos back with us. And of course, the other thing is sending lots of thank you notes. So we'll be hearing more and more about that. And then we want you to work with us. We want you to attend our monthly calls. We want you to come to the annual meeting, either in person or on Zoom. We want you to let us know what kind of club events are going on, what kind of district events are going on. We want you to share in our public relations efforts. We want you to tell us when you're going out and speaking to clubs so that we can put that on our calendar as well. And you have the opportunity as a district chair to select an annual Changemaker Award, which is basically a volunteer of the year, and present that publicly. We want you to do all of those things. We want you to follow us on social media. If you're willing, share it to your personal accounts. Encourage those district and club folks to do the same. And you're going to hear a little bit more about some of our favorite hashtags. Of course, hashtag the CART Fund, Little Blue Buckets, and Stand with CART. I just briefly want to mention we do have, these are the two logos that should be used on everything. Because we are not a Rotary International partner, we're a partner of Rotary Clubs and Rotary Districts. So therefore, we don't use the Rotary COG or Rotary International next to our logo. But because we are a partner of your clubs and your districts, a club and a district can use their logo alongside our CART logo. But if you happen to see that the incorrect logos are being used on your club or district websites, newsletters, Facebook pages, anywhere, documentation, if you will help us to track that, we want to make sure everybody's using the correct colors, the correct logos. And these are some of the logos that we provide, of course, being a 4-star charity navigator, the Forget-Me-Not painting that was done by the Rotarian in Florida, and the coins and the logos that you can use. And they're all available in our Canva account, and we can share those with anyone who needs them. Again, the Roger Ackerman Circle, just wanted to briefly mention, if you don't know how to sign up for that, all of the information is in this document to help you walk through doing it yourself or showing someone else how to do it. And this is a picture of what the pin looks like for those of you who have not gotten it. And then I want to make sure that everyone is aware of the awards and recognition that we are offering as part of the CART Fund. We recognize individuals who donate $1,000 or more in a fiscal year with special recognition. They're going to be listed on our website, which is coming soon with a new donor page. And we do invitation-only events. We're going to recognize them at the annual meeting. But here's what happens. If you are contributing the money into the online portal as a club donation, and it's really someone who's been writing their check to the club or handing you a $100 bill every week, we have no way of knowing who those people are. So you're going to hear a lot about the importance of recognizing individuals versus clubs and making sure that we get it right. The beauty is all individual donations do roll up into a club total. So it's still going to show up in the club totals for the year, but we want to make sure that individuals are recognized as well. We're also recognizing clubs, and we're very excited about this. The Spirit of CART Award. It recognizes clubs who donate $10,000 or more and districts who donate $100,000 or more in a fiscal year. And the top 3 clubs and districts will be recognized at the annual meeting. Now, last year in 24-25, we had 13 clubs that raised $10,000 or more. That was incredible. So we set a goal this year of 18 for the 25-26 year. And I'm excited to announce that we exceeded that goal, and we had 23 clubs this past year that actually did that. So that was great news. And I mentioned the Changemaker Award earlier, that you as a district chair get to designate one person in your district to receive that award every year. It is a beautiful medallion. We're asking everyone who's received the medallion this year to wear it to the annual meeting so they can be recognized as well. And then also in this document is going to be a lot of information as far as the resources that are available on the website, contact information for us, and all of that is going to be available on our website. All right, any questions about that so far? Feel free to unmute or raise your hand. Who's got a question? Yes, Kevin.
Tiffany, I just sent a quick question. We can use our district nomenclature and the CART logo in a lockup.
That's correct. You can.
I did not know that. Thank you.
You can, because your district is a partner of CART. We can't use the Rotary International by themselves. Correct.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Great question. Thank you. Anybody else have questions about that? We also just completed brand new Zoom backgrounds for this year with our new theme, which you're going to continue to hear more about. Those are also available on our website on the resources page, and you're welcome to download those and use them if you would like. The PowerPoint that you're going to see in a few minutes is not uploaded yet, and I'll explain why when we go over it. All right, any questions yet? Many of you may not be aware that this past year we had a governance committee that undertook some huge projects with our board of directors, updating our bylaws, which had not been done in several years, creating policies and procedures that we just had not done in years. One of them is a conflict of interest policy that had not been updated in several years. That has now been done, and a code of conduct policy. And one of the requirements of those in our policies and in our bylaws is that we review that code of conduct policy with everyone who is our volunteer. So district chairs, club chairs, board of directors. So I'm excited to introduce to you a new member of our team. Allison Harvey is the immediate past president from the Rotary Club of Clover, South Carolina. Which is District 7750. She recently retired after 28 years of public service and has come to work with us part-time. We are now 2 part-time employees for CART. And Allison is going to be doing a lot of stuff with us. One of the things, and you'll hear about it a little bit later, she's going to be the new Michelle. I mean, we're not letting Michelle go away anywhere. Michelle is not leaving by any chance, but Michelle has worked long and hard for us over the years, and she is in the process of training Allison to be the help desk for the portal. But Allison's going to be doing a lot of other things too, and the first thing she's going to talk about tonight is our code of conduct policy.
Thank you, Tiffany. I'm going to share my screen.
It's coming up.
Okay, there we go. So as Tiffany mentioned, the board is getting together their governance game and has decided that having a code of conduct is beneficial. And so my job tonight is to present the first annual code of conduct training to you guys. And as Rotarians, I know that we are all well aware of the 4-way test of the things we think, say, and do. So this presentation is, I think, like preaching to the choir, but we shall continue. I'm going to kick it off by stating that CART is committed to the highest ethical standards, and we encourage everyone associated with our organization, such as you fine folks, to commit to acting in the best interest of the organization and its mission. To achieve this, the organization has made a commitment to acting responsibly and with integrity, to following the letter of the law and the spirit of the law, for promoting financial accountability, transparency, and best governance practices, for respecting the wide variety of people who support us, being responsible stewards of our organization, its mission, reputation, and resources, being open and honest in all of our dealings. As representatives of CART, we expect you to be open and honest. We expect you to abide by the bylaws and policies of the organization, to take responsibility for your actions and care in your dealings with as representatives of our organization, to exercise best governance and accounting practices, to responsibly use CART's resources, and to promote financial transparency. My charge to you tonight is to act responsible, ethical manner that promotes openness, fairness, and integrity, to treat people according to our ethical values, to work together to achieve CART's mission to the best of our ability, to maintain confidentiality in all communications and interactions, sharing information only when authorized and required. So in conclusion, what we do is a reflection of CART, and I thank you for doing your part to uphold our values, protect our reputation, and lead us on our mission to find a cure for Alzheimer's. And that is the first annual Code of Conduct training.
Awesome. Thank you, Allison. Does anybody have any questions on that? Oh, you just heard my printer start. Sorry. Wonderful. Okay, so the next thing I want to share with you guys is the fact that it's going to stop printing in just a moment. We are going to roll out a brand new public image campaign this year, and some of which I'm going to share with you tonight, and then some of which for a couple of reasons, we can't finish it all tonight. Number one, because the official launch is going to be next Friday at the annual meeting, and it's going to be epic. I'm not kidding you guys. It's going to be epic. But the other reason that we can't is because part of our main excited announcement is that CART is getting a brand new app. And I know we've talked about it a little bit, but DACDB, our friends at MemberMinder Pro and DACDB are creating an app specifically for CART. And it's not finished. So we're all working fervently to finish it by next Friday. They're supposed to have something for us to look at this week. And then it actually, before it can go in the Google App Store and the Apple Store, it has to go through their vetting process to be approved. So it's going to take a little bit extra time to do that. But our goal is to have it ready by next Friday. And then we will hopefully be able to show it to you that day and then on the next Monday night session. And so what I really want is that to be part of the PowerPoint presentation that you as a volunteer go out and show. So therefore, this PowerPoint is not finished, because that is going to be a really important part for you to show people, because what it's going to do is it's going to allow people a much easier way to make a donation. It's going to allow a much easier way for you as a district chair to look at reports, and it's going to be much more user friendly. It's also going to be part of our public image campaign, because it will allow you to upload pictures from your phone into the app that will come directly to us that we can share as well. So I don't know how many of you are familiar with using the Ignite app, but it's going to be very similar to that, and it will have a lot of the same look to it. Yes, sir, Kevin.
I just wanted to know, you partly answered the question. Will it be part of the Ignite platform or a standalone app?
It will be a standalone app, because Ignite is a subscription app that you have to have as a paid subscription for a club or a district, and this one will be completely separate. It will be free to download from the App Store, but it will look very similar. But if you use Ignite now, you know how it can, it syncs with, it'll show you your Paul Harris Fellow points, your Rotary Foundation donations. The same will be true with this. It will be able to link to your CART giving and all of that as well. Excellent question. Thank you. So our campaign theme for this coming year, okay, just by show of hands, somebody tell me, what was the campaign theme this past year? Who remembers? Anybody? We obviously are going to do a better job this year. The missing piece, right? You guys remember seeing all the, oh, now you're like, oh, that's what that was. Yes. So the missing piece, all the puzzle pieces on all of our designs and everything else. But this year, our campaign theme is going to be Stand with CART. And we're going to use that hashtag Stand with CART, but it is going to be a movement. It's not just a theme, it's a movement. We want to take the CART mission beyond your Rotary Club meetings, beyond your community, and around the world. And the purpose of this campaign is going to be to empower every single Rotarian who hears our message to become an ambassador for CART. We've heard you when you say, well, only a few people know about us. We're going to let you, as the club and district chairs, share our message, but empower everyone else to share the message as well. And there's going to be some really specific ways you can do that we'll be rolling out. The app is one of those. But what we want to do is make it simple, make it personal, and make it fun. And I think that when you see all of the pieces come together in the next week and a half, 2 weeks, you're going to be really impressed. So there are some goals to this campaign. Again, tonight is a little bit of a tease, but it is to increase awareness of CART through member-generated content. If you keep up with social media at all, you may have heard of UGC, user-generated content. And that's a lot of what this is going to be. We're going to ask you and others to take your phone when you're at a meeting, shoot a picture or a video of someone who tells you why they stand with CART. And then you're going to be able to upload those into the app. You can share them immediately on your social media and tag us, and then we'll be able to share them as well. And we'll show you some examples of these. I have a few already. We're going to show them at the meeting next Friday. And I'm going to tell y'all, the first one that you're going to see is going to be an 11-year-old girl who is so excited about the CART Fund. And if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. So we're thrilled about this because it's going to empower every single Rotarian to find a way to tell their story. So obviously one of our goals is to increase awareness through member-generated content. Also to give volunteers a fun and easy way to tell the CART story. And we're going to use consistent branding using hashtag Stand with CART. And we're going to encourage participation from every district and every Rotary Club. You're going to hear in just a moment, we are now in 50 Rotary districts in 31 states around the country. Isn't that incredible? For some of you who've been around for a long time, you know how long it's taken us to work to get to that. And so all of this is going to build a lot of excitement leading to the 2026 annual meeting. So I want to show you, I'm going to roll through it quickly because I do want you all to know what it looks like. The PowerPoint presentation. And again, it is not available yet for you to download, simply because we've got to add the parts about the app and some other pieces. But we are also going to make it, again, like we did before, customizable so that you can put your name and your title, whether it's Greg Ross, District CART Chair. I'm going to use Greg as an example because I know he's here tonight. So that front page is going to be customizable. Now, I want to tell you how easy we're making this for you. Every page, every slide of this presentation already has all of the notes written so that you don't have to worry about what to say. You can certainly ad lib and add to it, but we don't want you to feel like you have to memorize all of this information. So there will also be a handout that is how many pages? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages long, a Word document. And so when you download this PowerPoint to your computer so that you can customize it, you can also download the notes page so that it has all of the things that you're going to read and talk about on every single page. It'll say slide 1, update with your contact information. And it tells you everything that we talk about, like that we're not a program of Rotary International, that our awards are presented at an annual meeting, and you'll be able to talk about how that just happened. And if you were there, that'll be even better. And page 2 is going to talk about the seed grants, that we are a nonprofit that was founded by a Rotarian in South Carolina. 100% of all of our donations go to research, that we fund these seed grants, that we are separate from the Rotary Foundation. And then there's even a little blurb in there that says, how do we donate 100% to research? Because of TRAC and the separate nonprofit. And all of that is explained for you in there as well. Slide 3 is going to tell you that in the notes that Alzheimer's affects millions of families, including Rotarians, and there unfortunately is still no cure. And in fact, the Alzheimer's Association tells us there are 55 million people worldwide that are living with Alzheimer's and other dementias. And so early stage research is critical, and it's often the hardest to fund, and that's where CART makes the biggest difference. So we're going to be able to share with you these statistics. You can talk about how nearly $20 million was invested, that we have a record number of applications this year. All of this is going to be in your notes, that the proposals are reviewed annually by a scientific review committee and selected based on how much money we have raised. And that while we are primarily in zones 33, 34 on the East Coast, we're also supported by 600 clubs and 50 districts in 31 states around the country, and that we were on the cover of Rotary Magazine, which also brought us a lot of attention. I'm going to pause. I see that Greg Ross has a question, so I'm going to go ahead and stop while you have a question. Yes, sir.
Thanks, Tiffany. Just a fast notice. We've been at 600 Rotary clubs for a couple of years, while the districts have gone up. Is there a count that might be higher than 600?
I have a feeling that some people were miscounting previously. I've checked and double checked. And we originally, I'm just going to say this, that originally we counted every club in a district, whether they gave or not, which is really not fair. I don't think that is an accurate assumption. Just because a Rotary district was in our zone and they wanted to participate, we counted every club. So this, I believe, is an accurate number. Does that help? I can't see you, so I'm hoping that that made sense. Okay, I can come back to it later if somebody has another question about that. Thank you for asking that.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for asking that. So we also want to share with people that we were recognized as a 4-star charity. I have just started working on all the paperwork for that to be renewed for 2025, but they only review that on a quarterly basis. The next one, I believe, is October something. So hopefully when that rolls around, we'll be able to share a new logo that says 2026. I will keep you guys posted on that. But for last year, we were a 4-star charity. We're proud of our association with all Rotary clubs and districts because we know what Rotary stands for. And there's a little blurb in here that talks about how much the researchers want to work with us because we donate 100% and things like that. So there's also a slide in here that you can share with people. This is slide number 5, and it talks about how donors and volunteers stand with CART, and that all individual gifts that are given by Rotarians roll up into their club totals. But club gifts, and this is important by definition, are basically either the money that is collected in the little blue buckets, or from a fundraiser, or that the club just puts it in their budget every year to donate $500 or $2,500 or whatever. That is considered a club gift. But individual gifts, individuals who donate either through a recurring program on their own through us, or write a check to CART and give it to someone in their club, those are individual gifts. They're still going to roll up into the total for their club, but those individuals deserve to be recognized. That's why we don't have an accurate number right now of our Roger Ackerman Circle members, because there are probably people who are giving $60 a year in a little blue bucket that are not being recognized. And we really want to make sure that we are thanking people and recognizing people as often as possible. The Champion Circle, as I mentioned earlier, you'll have the chance to show this as part of your presentation, are people who donate at least $1,000 a year. And then we talked about the Spirit of CART Award, which are clubs who donate at least $10,000 a year. I put on this slide the top 3 districts from last year so that you can see that they are all from the Carolinas right now. I'm certain that next year there is a district in Florida that is coming after you guys. I'm just saying. So it means we have to be a little bit more competitive. But we do want to encourage our individuals to enroll as recurring donors. They could also give through their IRA, their required minimum distribution, or a qualified charitable distribution donation. But all of those are individual gifts that also roll into their club's total. And that Champion Circle, we want to know those people so that we can make sure they get invited to certain events and they get recognized. And so you're going to see in your notes over and over and over again those comments about individual donations rolling into club donations. And then all the club donations roll into the total for the district. On this slide, you will see District 7670 CART giving for last fiscal year. I'm using them as the example, but this is the slide that you need to customize for your district. And if you don't know who the top 3 clubs are in your district for last year, we're going to be talking about that on the August meeting of conversation. There's an easy report that you can look at in the portal. If you don't know how to do that, feel free to reach out to Allison or me, or we will do that at the August meeting. We'll show you how to find that. And this picture happens to be from last year's annual meeting of all the folks from District 7670 who were there that day. We do take group pictures of every district with all of the researchers. These pictures are going to be much bigger this year because we have 10 researchers. But I encourage you, if there are people from your district that are there, use that as a photo. I can provide you some stock photos if you want of something different. If you are, I know Merlene is here. She's out in Idaho. She has very few clubs in that district that are, so she might not want to even use this slide at all. Or maybe she does to kind of inspire other clubs. This is up to you to personalize this and then to ask clubs to stand with CART to help to meet your district goals or exceed them next year. And then we will continue to post a monthly leaderboard on our social media, but we also offer that leaderboard graphic to you via Canva if you want to use it to recognize the top 3 clubs in your district every month. And again, I can show you how to find that in the portal. It's an easy report for you to pull. And all of that is going to be in these notes for you as well. Okay, we're almost done. This is about, I want to share that there are there are a couple of slides about our recipients for this year. The top two grants are getting $500,000 each. This is who they are. This is what they do. You guys can read that as part of your presentation, or just reference it if you want. And then you will also want to tell people that the videos of these two presenters will be on our YouTube channel, because they are the ones that are presenting at the annual meeting next week. And then we have two other slides with the other 8 recipients so that you can see who they are as well. And they will be part of panel discussions, and that will be uploaded to the YouTube channel eventually as well, but not them individually. So those are some things that you can share there. And then this is going to be a question where you might answer the question of, how do we fundraise? Those little blue buckets are never going to go away. They are our signature fundraiser. And in case you don't remember why, it's because that was Roger Ackerman's original concept, was that it not compete with other fundraisers, it not compete with Polio Plus, it not compete with the Rotary Foundation fundraising. And we have statistics that show it does not. The districts and clubs that support CART are consistently in the top 3 clubs and districts that are also supporting the Rotary Foundation and Polio Plus. So we can absolutely show, if someone asks that question, that is not an issue. But we also have a lot of other ways. And again, those little blue buckets available at no charge. You just have to let us know if you use them, if you need more of them. You can even put them in your community, and you can offer them to the clubs to do that as well. We do have other ways that people raise money, from the painting that I mentioned earlier by George Lewis in Venice, Nokomis, Florida. It is available for purchase from him. There's information on that on our website, and he donates a portion of that back to CART. And then all of these other ideas and several more that are listed in your notes that you'll be able to reference. And then, of course, I'm going to be adding a graphic right there about the app as well. And then one of the things that people really like to hear are success stories. What are some of the success stories that have come out of our grants? And we want to share 2 of them in this presentation. Dr. Shannon McCauley, who received a grant last year, and we have been sharing some of her social media post this last week with a study that just came out, and there's more information in the notes about this so that you will feel comfortable talking about it. The same is true with the second one that we're sharing, Dr. Musiak, who got a grant. It was 2015. I'm sorry, that's a typo. I can fix that though, and we'll make sure we get that fixed right there. And his is about circadian clock and sleep rhythms and things like that. And again, all of the information on his research is in the notes for you. And then our final slide will be, we'll have a QR code there where people can get the app. We want you to encourage them to sign up for all of our social media, follow us, to sign up for our e-news. And this is something that you all will have to help us promote, that we can't automatically add someone to that. They have to opt in because Rotary's database is proprietary and we have access to people who give to us, but you have to opt in to our newsletter, which comes out monthly. And so we're going to ask you to encourage people to sign up for that. And that is going to be your PowerPoint presentation that you can use. You'll be able to download it again after the annual meeting, and as soon as the app is ready, we'll have all of the details on there along with the notes page that you can download as well. What questions do you have before we move to the next part of our agenda? I talked a lot. No questions? Y'all are like, yes, you talk a lot all the time, Tiffany. What's new? Okay, so given that, we're going to, yes.
Because I'm in Georgia and my club is in North Carolina, based out of a different district, what's the best way to plug into local clubs to speak and do these presentations? Should I just reach out to the Georgia chair?
Yes, you would definitely need to coordinate that with their district chairs, because we don't want to step on their toes. And quite often they are probably, one of them was on here earlier. Oh, she is still, Patty is here. And she is actually your district, I believe, where you live. So I'm
Oh,
sure that there are people who would be happy to have you help. And Glenda is another one, but you live a long way from Glenda. So, and then the district above you actually does not have a current district chair, 6900. So there will be ample opportunities if you're willing to go out and help. And I bet we will connect you with Patty Hurst. It says Patricia's iPad on her Patty Wave so
okay.
that Laura can see you. And I'll be happy to connect you guys if you'll remind me. That's an excellent question. Thank
We'll
you.
do that. Thank you.
Great. All right, then the next thing on our agenda is to transfer over to Allison again. She's going to talk to you with a little bit about the donor portal.
It's very nervous because I'm doing this training, and Michelle, I believe, is in the audience, and she is my trainer. So if anything I say is wrong, it's not a reflection on Michelle for sure. It is all me. So I'm going to go through this training, and Tiffany gave me 45 minutes. I'm just kidding. Just joking. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly because I kind of feel like with this group of people, y'all have hopefully are somewhat familiar with the portal. So we're going to go through the presentation, and then I'm going to hop onto the actual portal site to to kind of illustrate what I'm talking about. So when we say portal, what do we mean? We mean that it's a website that's safe, very safe, convenient way to make a contribution on behalf of a person or a club by using a bank account, which we also call it EFT, electronic funds transfer, or a credit card. And it is always on, always available. So who can use the portal? Well, anyone can use the portal, a Rotarian or a non-Rotarian. But anyone who uses the portal must have a profile on the portal, and I will show you how easy that is to set up, both for a Rotarian, because the portal is connected to DACDB, so their information automatically pops up. And for non-Rotarians, it's very easy to create a profile for those guys. And as district chairs, CART staff, other Rotarians with the proper permissions to the portal can create those user profiles for non-Rotarians. So there are two ways to get to the portal. There's the fast way and the most direct way, which is mycartfund.org. Or you can go into CART Fund, the CART Fund's primary page, which is cartfund.org, and click on Donate Today, and it takes you to mycartfund.org. So once you get there, how do you log into the portal? Well, you will use your DACD. If you're a Rotarian, you'll use your DACDB username and password. And if you're a non-Rotarian, then you'll simply use the username and password that you created when you created your profile. If you don't remember, like all great websites, if you don't remember what your password is, there's a nice little button there that you can hit to reset your password. So once you get onto the portal, this is the kind of information that you're going to be asked for. Well, first of all, you're going to click on Make a Donation. And then you're going to need to determine whether it's a personal, a club, or in some cases, a district donation. You're going to add the contributor's name, whether it's the individual's name or the club name, the amount that's being donated, whether it's a one-time or recurring donation. Then you'll enter your payment information, whether it's an EFT from your checking account or whether it's a credit card. You can also, and Tiffany mentioned this, an honorarium, or we do have some that are in memory of, and if that's applicable, then you can choose that on that page as well, on that primary page as well. So after you hit the Make a Contribution button, this is where you're going to select personal, club, or district. If you are a club treasurer or CART chair or anybody that's been given permission to enter donations through the portal, if you don't see these three options, then you need to contact help, which is basically me. And I'll tell you how to get there at the end of the presentation. So you have to stay through the whole thing. So we Tiffany has mentioned several times before that you need to determine first who is making that contribution. Whether it is, and you as a portal user, you can make a contribution on your own money, your own checking account, your own credit card. You can also make a contribution that some other Rotarian has made by entering the information and adding their name as the contributor, or you can enter a contribution from a non-Rotarian. You may have to create a profile in the portal if that person doesn't already have one, and that's a Rotarian may not have a profile, a non-Rotarian may not have a profile, but once that's set up, it's basically a drop-down menu to fill in their name. You can also enter club contributions. As Tiffany mentioned, these are typically funds collected from your Blue Bucket, from a special fundraiser and the like. And it is, as she mentioned, very important to distinguish between these two types of contributions. And why is that? It's because individuals who contribute can later log onto the portal and look up their annual contributions for tax purposes. CART is able to recognize individuals for their donations. She's already reviewed several of the recognitions, including the Roger Ackerman Circle. Don't forget that all personal donations will roll up, so Rotary clubs and districts will also get recognition. And if I do see something that looks a little off with the donation, I will email you to make sure that it was correctly recorded either as a personal or a club contribution. So the next piece of information that you'll be asked about is how often you want to make this contribution. And it could be a one-time payment, or as you can see, the other options are monthly, quarterly, twice a year, or once a year. But just remember, if you want to be eligible for the Roger Ackerman Circle, then it has to be a minimum of $60 and it has to be recurring. So you'd want to check that monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, or annually recurring on this screen. Next, you'll be asked to enter financial information. And as mentioned, it could be from your bank account or credit card. CART pays less fees for electronic funds transfers, EFTs. So that is certainly a preference in making a donation, but we're not limited to that. And with either method, just make sure that you and your club chairs know that they need to have their financial information in hand. That just makes the whole entering process a lot easier. And to also, for sure, take care when entering that financial information so that the contribution isn't rejected, which might lead you to having to enter it more than one time. So when to use the portal? The portal can be used 24 hours a day. Tiffany also mentioned that clubs are encouraged to make their club donations, not only by using the portal, but to maybe try to do it at least monthly. Quarterly is also fine. Discourage you doing it once a year because we want to make sure that clubs get the donation credit in the year that the donation was made. We also want to make sure that all the money that we have is used to base the grants on. So the sooner that we have the money in hand, the better. And 100% of the donation is given to research, but operational expenses are covered in part by interest earned by donations. I think there was a question earlier about track operations. So some of the money from the interest is also used for operations. When not to use the portal, when there are donations greater than $10,000, any instrument other than a typical check, such as a money order or a certified check, a disbursement from a QCD, which Tiffany mentioned was a qualified something distribution, or an IRA or the like, anything other than just the typical check. And all of those checks, we prefer for those to be mailed directly to Tiffany, and there's her address, and I'm sure that we can get that out in another format if necessary. So I'm going to try to now flip over to my other screen and share what the portal actually looks like and go through some samples here. So this is the main page at mycartfund.org. And you will go in and enter your email address. In this case, I am entering this email address. And I'm going to verify it's me. I don't know if y'all can see that part, but So it automatically filled in the username and the password. That is a DACDB email address and password. So I'm not going to sign in yet. I'm going to click on create an account first, just so that you can see what's there. Make sure that if you are adding an account for someone, helping someone out, that you properly note whether that person is a Rotarian or not, and then just fill in this basic information. All right, I'll go back. So I've already got an email address and password set up. I'm going to sign in. And this is the main landing page on the portal, the homepage, if you will. So as I mentioned, if you are logging in, you can check out your own contributions. You can look at your profile. If your club has set a goal, it will be here. And as promised, here is the help button, which will put you in touch with me via email. But for today's training, we're going to look at make a contribution. So you would just click here. And this is the page that we talked about, where you are going to check who is making the contribution, the amount, how often, and how you are going to contribute the fund, and if this is in donation or honor or memory of someone. So let's pretend now that so you'll be, as district chairs, you'll be mostly, hopefully, maybe training your club treasurers or club CART chairs. So so that I will show you how to make a club contribution. You're going to click on this radio button. And as you can see, because of that, the user profile I'm using, it is automatically set up to my club, which is Clover, the Town with Love in the Middle club. So from this box, then you can go to here. You are already set up for the club. So then you're just entering the amount, which could be any of those, hopefully not zero. Again, go through how you're going to pay it, whether it's through the electronic funds or credit card, and then hit continue there. And I'm not going to do that quite yet, because I'm also going to show you how to make a personal contribution and to add a user profile. So now I've checked on personal. If this is me, then I would use this and put my name, and it pops up right here. And I am ready and set to go. All right. But let's say it is someone else that may not have a profile. Well, he does, because he's the one that I'm using. So you can just click on his name. Let's try to find someone else in my club. Oh, let's do that. Try to find someone else. This worked earlier. Make a contribution. Oops, make a contribution. Personal. Okay. Oh, well, no wonder. Person is not registered, does not have a profile. All right, this is perfect. So I'm going to add the user. This is my district. This is my club name. Select that. I am going to look for members that are in my club, but do not have a profile on DACDB. I'm going to add Dr. Gretchen Love. And because she is in DACDB, all of her information, or most of her user information, automatically loads. And then I can add her as a user. All right. That's pretty easy when it's a Rotarian. So we're back to this page. She is in, make a personal, enter the last name, and she shows up. And she is ready to make a contribution, or the CART chair or treasurer is ready to make a contribution. So let's say, though, for example, make a contribution, make a personal, that it is for my uncle, Bob Smith. He is not in the portal. He is not a Rotarian yet, but I can add him as a user. by putting in his name right here. I will do bob@gmail. I'm not going to go through with this because I really don't think that's Bob's email address, but but this is so that you can see, and then you can, let's see if it'll add. Oh, validation failed. But, well, that's weird. And I might have to ask Michelle about why this is. Maybe it's because you have to associate it with my club anyway. But this is how you would enter in from club information. This is also, we've already looked at the drop-down menu. Again, you're going to select the one-time payment or the recurring payments. You can select from your EFT or credit card. You can also select from the credit card whether you're going to pass on the 3% fee. And if you click in honor of or memory of, it has another drop down that will let you add a person's name and an address where someone can be contacted about the gift that was made. So that was very quickly moving through the portal. And I'll get back.
That was awesome.
Okay, couple more things.
Okay.
So we've already talked about when not to use it. Oh. So as we mentioned, things do come up when to contact help. When you make a contribution, you should get a receipt by email. If you have questions on how to enter a check, or if you think you might have entered a donation twice, if you need some login assistance, or if you have any questions at all. So on the login page, there was a contact support button. And once you've logged in on the home page, there's also a help button. This is what it looks like after logging in. So my final points are because again, I'm still within my 45 minutes, Tiffany. When to use the portal, it's safe, it's fast, and it's easy, and it's always on, so use it. If you log in and don't see an option for personal and club, and this is important, you need to contact me because you need to have permissions to do both of those. And your club CART chairs and club secretaries do as well. Anyone can use the portal, but they must have a profile. Personal contributions, as we mentioned for the 5th time, hopefully it'll go, that they do roll up to the club and to the district. So if you know of someone that is giving bigger gifts, then encourage them to use the portal to give those gifts on their personal accounts. Encourage recurring donations so that members can be eligible for the Roger Ackerman Circle. And encourage your clubs to donate at least monthly or quarterly. That's it.
Awesome. What questions do you guys have? I saw Laura's question, if you're going to give your cell phone number for 24-hour support, and the answer is no, of course. Ha ha ha. But
Laura, they already have mine.
Yeah, we literally realized that the portal used to have Michelle's cell phone number on the homepage, and we did take care of that 2 years too late, I think. But yes,
Austin did an amazing job in covering all of this, and it's been such a short time. I just want to reiterate one thing. When people make a contribution of memory of somebody, it's very often a member of a club passes away. And when you put those contributions in, you need to include the information of who is to be notified that those donations were made in memory or in honor of the person. The amounts are not included, but Tiffany sends out a beautiful card with information that lets the family member know that those donations were made on behalf of the club members and the people they were made of, so that they can thank those people. Also, many times people who are not Rotarians make those donations as well. And Allison can go back and we can credit your Rotary Club for those donations as well, because they're not members, but your club can also be credited for those donations. So we've had a lot of that over the past year, and it's just really important to think about. The other thing is we don't keep your credit card information or your banking information. That's why we call you when we say, please put your information in again, because our portal does not keep that information. And the portal continues after 5 years or whatever to update and make it a wonderful place for us to make donations. And now we'll have an app to do it as well. So congratulations, Allison. You've done a great job.
An excellent teacher, Michelle. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Allison. So we will put, Allison, if you'll type your email address in the chat so that they have it for now. I will also let you know that we are in the process of upgrading a lot of things with the organization. We're coming into the 21st century, and we're going to have email addresses that are at cartfund.org. And so we are working on those now. We will have those probably in the next 3 to 4 weeks. And there will be a support one that we will use. But for now, Allison is allowing us to use her personal email address, which is how she's communicating with folks. And she's put that in the chat for those of you who may want to copy it and put it in your address book so that you know how to reach her. All right, so very quickly, I know we are running over. I just want to give you a couple of important dates, and I do want to remind you again, the annual meeting is a week from Friday. Registration will close on Monday, which is the whatever Monday's date is, the 27th, I believe. We have to give the hotel a head count. So if you are thinking about it, if you're on the fence, go ahead and do it. Get registered this week, because I do have to give a final head count to the hotel. Last year, just as an FYI, we had 70 people in person. As of today, with almost a week left to register, we are currently at 98 in person. So that's all great news. Things are, and thank you, Greg Ross, you just made 98 when you took care of yours. So we're excited about that. There's gonna be a lot of great things going on. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So please register, share it. I'm going to send one more email newsletter out this weekend. If you are not on our e-news list, please make sure to go to the website and sign up for that. And when you do get it, forward that email to other people in your club, or copy and paste the blurb and send that out this weekend. Make sure that everybody knows that they're invited, either in person or online. There is no charge to participate online, but you do have to register so that we know who's coming on to the Zoom. And we have a professional audiovisual company that's doing it this year for us. So I think that's going to be exciting as well. And then the other dates I wanted to give you are the CART Conversations calls. I want you to go ahead and get registered for the ones that are on the calendar. And then there are others that are still need to be added to the calendar, because that's on mine and Allison's training list for Monday, is to show her how to do those, because I've been doing them for a while. So we definitely have one on Monday, August the 3rd. Again, typically the first Monday of every month. Every month we will have a fundraising idea of the month. We will have a public image tip of the month. We will be talking about donor portal tips. We will be talking about updates for finances and our Stand with CART campaign and all of that. So typically the first Monday. But guess what? September, first Monday is a holiday. So we had to reschedule that one also. That's going to be on Wednesday, September the 16th. I think it is already in DACDB. And then we are the first Monday in October, November, and December. So the ones that are in the DACDB, go ahead and register. For those of you who have not figured it out yet, or maybe you're still kind of new, we use the same recurring Zoom link for every meeting. So if you forgot to register and it's the day of, so you didn't get a reminder email, but you think, oh, my schedule opened up, now I can join it. You don't have to text me, you don't have to email me. You can simply go to the CART Fund website, go to calendar, go to today's date. It'll show you what the Zoom link is, or you can go into DACDB. It also has it there. You can find it in 2 different places. And again, it's always the same link. What questions do you have before we wrap up for the night? It's a lot of information tonight. Don, yes, sir. All the way from, are you in British Columbia tonight?
Yes. Yes.
Thanks for joining us.
Do you have any lunch a la cartes scheduled?
We do not at this time. We've just about run through all of our researchers, and so we'll probably wait a little while before we bring that back. Great question. Thank you. Patty, yes, ma'am.
How do you get the thank you notes?
The thank you notes. What thank you notes?
Thank you notes to send for district chairs to give to donors.
The forget me not ones.
Yes.
Yeah, you can purchase some that have the forget-me-nots on the front if you want. Those are on the merchandise page of our website. They're from one of our vendors. But you could also use your personal note cards if you want that has your name on it, or
Okay.
something pretty that says thank you. You could buy generic ones at the dollar store if you want, or you could buy the nicer ones that have the forget me not on there, and it has some information about CART on the back. Remember, if you, and this is something we'll talk about again next month as we start looking at reports, but if you as a district chair enter in a donation for a club, which we're discouraging you from doing, we want you to teach them how to do it so they can do it themselves. And one of the reasons for that is because we just got finished with our audit for CART, and we have checks in 14 different places, and that is really not a good financial practice. So we don't want you to do that, but if you have to, remember, if you put it in as a club donation that Allison showed you how to do, the receipt that generates via email comes to you. So then it's on you to then forward that to someone in the club. Or Michelle would always print a copy of it, put it in the mail to them sometimes even as well. But that's on you to do that. If you enter in a donation for a club, then that receipt comes to you. If you enter in a
Okay.
donation for another individual, the email receipt will go to that individual. But as far as handwritten notes, you can use any thank you note you want. You're welcome to buy the ones from the website, again, through a vendor, through Civic Swag, or you can use your own.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Don.
I sent this question to Allison already, but out here in the West, they don't use DACDB, they use Club Runner.
Right. And that's a great question. And we are going to be talking about that. We have some meetings scheduled with the DAC-DB folks. We have access to their data. We just have to handle it a little bit different way. So, we know that that's at a priority on our list because we know you're out there. So those folks are, most of the ones that you're speaking to now, I think they're already in the portal. We just have to double check them, and then we'll get you all of that information. We'll be talking about that. That's a great question. Thank you. It is at the top of our list, but it's a long list of things to meet with Chris Jones about, and I'm trying to get them to finish the app first. Yes.
He's in Evanston this week too, because
He is. He's at the Pets Alliance this week. Exactly. Bronwyn asked the question about how to register. You register the same way for online as you would for in person. There is a question when you register that asks, are you attending in person or online? And so you can select one or the other, and you can get it from DAC-DB. You can find all of our events in the DAC-DB calendar by selecting CART events at the top of the calendar. You can also find it on our website calendar, and then there's some links also on our social media accounts. Excellent questions. Who else has a question? I know we've gone over, so I apologize for that, and I thank you guys for staying with us. We do not, for those of you who are new here, normally go over, but this is a lot tonight. We're trying to get a lot in because we know it's the beginning of the year. You guys are, listen, I know because you're messaging me, calling me, emailing me, texting me saying, when can I get the PowerPoint? I want to start doing my presentations. So I appreciate that. We will have it ready for you to download by Monday the 3rd for sure. And if it doesn't have the app in it, we'll give you a revised version later. How about that?